On today's solo Sunday news, there's a backstage update on that huge John Cena heel turn. There's some news on Travis Scott's WWE role going forward. Jade Cargill's mystery attacker has been revealed, and Randy Orton returns at WWE Elimination Chamber. Hello and welcome to WhatCulture Wrestling, the solo Sunday news with myself, Andrew Pollard. I hope you're good, I hope you're well, and I hope your weekend is going as well as it possibly can. Right, it's quite the quiet weekend in the wrestling world, right? Yeah, not like much has happened at Elimination Chamber or anything. It's not like we got a heel turn that someone been clamoring for nearly 2 decades by this point. Yes, Elimination Chamber 2025 is in the books and will forever be known as the night that John Cena finally turned heel, joining forces with The Rock and putting a beating on Cody Rhodes. Prior to this, Cena had won the men's Elimination Chamber match, making CM Punk pass out with the STF with a major assist with Seth Rollins. It should probably be added, who gave the stomp to Punk on the outside of the chamber. But this was still very much at this point all smiling, baby kissing, granny hugging, babyface John Cena, even sharing an embrace with CM Punk during the match. Then sharing a moment with Cody Rhodes post-match where the two did the usual, look at the WrestleMania sign, they hugged, they chatted, they showed respect to each other. And then out came the final boss with Travis Scott, apparently. Like, I have zero idea who Travis Scott is, but that is because I'm a boring old man whose music taste just mainly revolves around 90s indie Britpop. So it was a bit weird for me when The Rock's music hit and out came this fella who I didn't particularly recognize. But anyway, that was soon followed by The Rock, who looked for an answer from Cody Rhodes about giving the final boss his soul. Not just did Cody turn down the offer, but he gave a sturdy go F yourself is the exact phrasing of it. Well, it's not the exact phrasing, but I can't say that on YouTube because we'll get demonetized. Obviously, Rock was pissed off by this. But for Cody, he had Cena rooting him on behind him. Cena was loving it. He was giving Cody another hug. And then John Cena's smiling face dropped as he looked at The Rock. The Rock did a throat slit gesture, and Cena kicked Cody in the balls. That will always do the job, leading to Rock and Cena putting a beating on the American Nightmare, complete with a slap from Travis Scott as well. Now, on how this heel turn came together, Fightful Select reports that the Rock and Cody segment was listed internally as third. The men's chamber match was to go on last. But that was a purposely a swerve as WWE tried its best to protect the Cena heel turn. And yes, the turn came as a major shock to most people in the company. Now, Cena and Cody, it's been known for a while that the plan was for them to go one-on-one at WrestleMania 41. But there's no word right now on how long the heel turn element was planned for. This report also adds that Fightful hadn't heard of any plans for The Rock to wrestle at WrestleMania. Of course, that doesn't mean that he couldn't wrestle at WrestleMania. But of course, most of the creative revolving around The Rock is kept on a very, very strict need-to-know basis, with Rocky usually working directly with Triple H and Brian Gewirtz, and that's pretty much it. That's the core unit, the inner circle. Some have speculated that this could have all been in the works as far back as that appearance at Bad Blood from The Rock. When he came out at the end, there was the brief cameo where he did, again, the throat slit, and it was kind of directed towards Cody Rhodes and or Roman Reigns. That was all speculation from that. And for those wondering, Rock said during the post-PLE media scrum that John Cena was flying out to Africa last night. Literally, I think Rock said that he was flying out as he was talking. So Cena's off to Africa to continue filming his latest movie, and he's not advertised for the next 2 Raws. So don't be expecting any appearances from John Cena in the near future, or the next couple of weeks at least anyway. And now, of course, Rock being The Rock, that media scrum also saw him talk totally out of character about how happy he was with the heel turn, about moments in the business, about the creative process of working with Triple H, which kind of negates things a little when you watch these things back. At least for someone like me, where, can we not immediately pull the curtain back just minutes after this massive, huge moment that's taken place? Anyway, sticking with that media scrum, The Rock also seemed to indicate that Travis Scott will be a part of whatever this alliance is between Rock and Cena going forward. Now, Scott was in the ring for the entire Rock, Cena, Cody segment. As mentioned, he did even get physical at one point. Now, Rock called Travis his guy, saying how Travis loves the business of pro wrestling, and then saying how some celebrities come in and want to have fun at the show. Some want to be shown on camera, as we see pretty much regularly these days on Raw. Netflix loves to show somebody in the crowd. Most of the time, I have no idea who they are. But Rock says that Travis Scott deeply wants to get involved, and that Travis has formed a union and an alliance with the final boss, how Travis wants to get his hands bloody. And of course, Rock also had to drop in a mention of his tequila, saying it goes well with Travis's smoke. So yeah, it appears that Travis Scott being out there with The Rock could well be a semi-permanent arrangement for the foreseeable future. Travis, Rock, John Cena heading into WrestleMania as big match. John, of course, tries to win his 17th world title. The New World Order professional wrestling, brother, or something like that. But Cena's heel turn wasn't the only newsworthy item coming out of Elimination Chamber. In fact, there was plenty going on across what was... I guess you call it an extremely solid 4-match card. One big talking point came in minutes into the show, and that was the return of one Jade Cargill. Not to mention, seemingly, the reveal of who attacked Jade last year. Now, as the PLE opened, it was the Women's Chamber match that got things going, and getting that match going was Liv Morgan and Naomi. But before the two could even really lock up, Jade's music hit and she headed to the ring in some pretty sweet new gear, actually. Very badass look. The setup here was that Jade was going after Liv, with Liv doing a great job there of selling the fear in her face of a whooping coming from Jade, only for Jade to instead attack Naomi and beat the absolute piss out of her, is the only way I can describe it. Just threw her around the chamber, ragdolled her, threw her into the pods, and it basically left Naomi in a state where she was unable to compete in the chamber match and so was eliminated by default. And all of this brilliantly played out as well, as you had Bianca Belair helpless, screaming inside the pod. Just an emotional wreck as her two pals go at it, her two partners. And with that, it looks like, as many predicted, Naomi was behind that attack on Jade Cargill. Now, after all, in these situations, you have to always look at I guess the best way to put it would be who benefits the most from whatever's happened. And in this case, Naomi, of course, became one half of the women's tag team champions when Jade Cargill was forced out on the sidelines. As for the chain match itself, it was Bianca Belair who go on to win the match, last eliminating Liv to earn a shot at the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania, with Belair then having a face-off with both Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Now, Rhea does defend her title against Io on tonight's Raw, so the winner of that gets Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 41. And it wasn't just Jade Cargill who returned at Elimination Chamber. Nope. For the unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that was followed by the return of Randy Keith Orton. Randall Keith Orton, give him his full name. And the match, I mean, the war, I guess you would call it, it was great. It was phenomenal. I had a lot of fun in that match. Both men just knocked the crap out of each other, as you would expect from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They went through the ringer, and it would be one final apron powerbomb that would seal the win for KO. But in typical KO fashion, he wasn't finished after the bell, though any further attack on Sami was stopped when Randy Orton's music hit in the Rogers Center. And the Viper made his way down to the ring, and he looked to get some revenge on Kevin Owens, and not just revenge, but Randy pulled out a move. I don't think it feels like forever since we've seen it. He was about to punt kick KO square in the head, only for agents and security staff to get in the way. And that would then, Randy would just dish out a bunch of RKOs as KO quietly got out the ring and made his way to the back. The last time we saw Randy Orton was back in November. That was where Kevin Owens gave him a power driver with the move that was sold like such a big deal because, quite frankly, we don't ever see it in WWE. It's been on that banned list forever. And it also leans very much into Randy's real history with neck problems, which then he's been on the sidelines for the past, nearly 4 months, wasn't it? I think it's about I don't know. It was early November. But yeah, one has to imagine now, of course, that is going to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Then you also have to ask, what is next for Sami Zayn? Could those Karrion Kross interactions lead to Sami and Kross at Mania? Does he find himself thrown into some sort of multi-man match for the IC title, which, I mean, given the last couple of WrestleManias, maybe feels a little bit below Sami? Also, is there something else that's in the works for Sami Zayn at the showcase of the Immortals? I mean, given the brutality that was played up between Sami and KO last night, it remains to be seen whether Sami Zayn will even be on Raw tomorrow. But if he is, maybe we'll get an indication of what is on the table for him at WrestleMania. And with that, this has been WhatCulture Wrestling. I'm Andrew Pollard. Continue your YouTube journey with one of our other fantastic videos, and I will catch you next weekend.